We're here back with the Leaders Only digital show and podcast. We brought to you here by What a Change Mentoring and Tone Drone. I'm your host, Kendall,
And I'm Samaj.
and we ask that you please subscribe to our channel, share, like, hit that bell. And if you can't catch us live, it's okay. You can always just hit pound and replay in the chat box. We'd love to hear your input and your feedback.
Sure. All right. So over the last few weeks, man, we've been talking about mental health, mental illness, and mental hygiene. So we just want to remind y'all that instead of calling 911, there's a new number for mental health concerns and issues that get you some help, and that number is 988. And we're excited about today's show. I'm glad that we're back. Hope everybody in good
Absolutely.
spirits.
And
Ready to rock and roll.
that's a major update, man. We very excited to give y'all that information because it's always kind of complicated. The 911 number is always, kind of busy.
Yeah.
So to have your own straight access and direct line to it, man, that's truly a blessing.
Yes. So today we're going to be discussing growing up and how we are dealt with in our society and the justice system.
So we'll touch on the first one is if y'all haven't seen it, it was a 9-year-old boy. Um, he got into it with a lady. He brushed up against a white lady's book bag, and she accused him of sexual harassment.
Right.
Um, so like, what I feel like it was just a brush up, so I didn't see any sexual harassment, but it just starts right there of the traumatizing that young boy and just the accuse of him doing something that he had no knowledge that he even done.
Right.
That was, kind of crazy to me.
Right. Yeah, I piggyback on that. I believe that. I also believe that it's kind of like the Emmett Till situation in a sense, that somebody's just accusing you and they automatically agree with this person that's accusing you. Then to make somebody that young a suspect, even if somebody brushes up against you to say, hey, you bumped into me, you know what I'm saying, or did you see me? He probably, like you said, didn't know. But yeah, to go sexual harassment just because somebody brushed up against you, that make me think that you have a mental issue, you have mental sickness going on because you have a direct racist problem.
Right.
This is
Right.
racism, and then above that, adults are supposed to protect children. So why would you want to harm somebody else's children or get them taken away from a mother or put a child in handcuffs? Man, in handcuffs, first and foremost, they hurt. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
And as a
Correct.
grown man, you get traumatized by being put in handcuffs or slammed on the ground or, just talked to disrespectful and belittled. So I can only imagine a child that doesn't have the emotional intelligence. First things first, he trying to probably figure what is going on.
Right. Confused.
Why, and then you look at your parent. If your parent is there, especially at that age, your parent was probably there. Your parent, your number one protector, can't even protect you. It's over at this point,
Right.
you know what I mean? Until you go through a court of law and have to
Right.
go through all these things. So it's like, man, I can only imagine just on so many different levels.
Right.
When a child now or that young man now sees a cop, there's no trust now. So that breaks that line too,
Automatically.
because that's the protection
At the young age,
of
too.
that's the protection of the community though.
Right.
So he's not even going to want to go to protection, and it leads us back down to a lot of the situations and growing the way we grew up. Keep your mouth closed. Don't
Right.
say nothing. I'm not saying if you're doing the crime and we trying to get out of that. This child is a civilian,
Right.
and we teaching them immediately that.
And it's clear that he was in the right going to he had his book bag on.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the wrong. It was in the right area. He was in the right area. I also wanted to touch on something that you said when it comes to racism. So now you're instilling racism, something that he's not even supposed to have knowledge of in this time. He's not supposed to know about racism.
Right.
Like, he don't even live in that time. Like, racism's not even supposed to be brought to his knowledge. And now this lady, well, she probably don't look like him. Of course she doesn't look like him. She's
Right.
a different tone. Okay, cool. Now you done introduce something else when he's just looking at her as a woman, regular, the same as him, equal, because he don't know nothing about racism. He's young. So then you introduce that to him. So that's another thing that he got to deal with. So yeah, I really wanted to touch on that.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it was something. It could have been a easy situation resolved, you know.
Right.
And now look how it escalated and caused all different type of different mental issues, you know.
Well, yeah.
Especially like you said, starting with the lady. You know, she
It
probably
was,
already had a mental issue.
It was years ago. So then they found out that he was innocent, and then they asked him, "Do he forgive her?" And he
No.
said no. So then that proved right there, which is going to be a hurdle that he's going to have to get over forever until not forever, but until he gets over that hurdle, he's carrying that weight.
Right.
Now that's possible depression. That's your mental illness. That's all the things, your traumatization, PTSD. This is just like an open gateway for those type of things. We just pray that the child is stronger, you know what I mean, and being, you know, raised in love and have people around him that do teach forgiveness. Because if you hold on to something, especially from 6, man, that stuff goes to 36 or further, man. You can hold on to something for 30
If you
years.
make it there, who's to say you make it there?
You be cutting yourself off, man. You go 30 years holding on to some anger, you know what I mean? That's, you know, diluting your progress. You know, you blocking your own blessings, and now you have hate in your heart. You know, I believe at this day and age, I believe children do know what racism is. I believe it is taught, but I believe they know, especially now with all the things that's going on the phones. I see children 5, 6 years old get the phone and literally do whatever they want. So there's no, you know, no filter pretty much on the stories that they can see, or
Right.
just sitting around parents and hearing it, or if the news come on and, you know, then you hear that. So then there's rage put into the parents too. Like, man, can you believe this white B, or can you believe this? And then the child has to hear, and then that, I watch The Shy, and I watch things like that to just see what children are doing nowadays. And then we were all children, so you know, you go have a conversation with your little adult friends, you know what I mean? Because that's how they act, even though they're children. When they're around each other, I mean, they talk like this. They mimic what they
Right.
see.
What they
You know
hear,
what I'm saying?
what they
So
see.
now it's passed on, and then, you know, your friends too. If you got empathy in the group, then your friends could possibly be afraid of police, or, man, that might happen to me. This is a very impressionable age, so we have to remember, as adults, you know what I mean, that we have to create a safe environment for these children, or you'll be looking at a 15-year-old, 16-year-old now that's on your behind, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
in the situations that we have, pulling out guns and, you know, attacking situations like they are adults without, you know, thinking and having no emotional intelligence.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, that's a touchy situation there. As always, man. When it comes to children, you know, we try to instill as much as we can in them, because like in the area that we live in, and I could just say PG County area, it's so much violence being held now. So I be feeling like every time when it comes to these issues, like, where does it start? And it always starts in that household, because no matter what circumstance you grow up in, no matter what environment you grow up in, no matter what is going outside them doors, it's supposed to be a safe haven inside of that house. You know, it's supposed to be love, it's supposed to be comfort, it's supposed to be care, it's supposed to be food. Even if not what you want, you know, it's supposed to be what you need inside of that house, so you don't have to run outside them doors, you know, and deal with your circumstances and what's going on outside, you know. So to for that kid to have to witness that at a young age, well, he's older now, but have to witness that in a young age, like, it's kind of like, dang, he's not wrong for not forgiving her, but at the same time, he need to understand that forgiveness helps heal you and help you grow. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like just like everything else is taught. The adults got to teach him. Nobody's saying just do it immediately. Right now, he's reacting off emotion. At some point, we want him to react with his mental. So yeah, closing that up, we definitely appreciate y'all joining us today. Please make sure you do lock in that emergency number at 988, and make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, click the bell. We really do need that. We're getting over 100 views, so it will help if we get over 100 likes, and we mix it up a little bit to keep us in the algorithm. And you can also email us at leadersonly22@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
And we got an update. I'm sorry, Samaj, but we do got a update, man. That 9-year-old boy did forgive that lady.
Okay.
It just came through on our phone.
Okay.
We got a message from one of our team members, and it, yeah,
All
that
right, so
young
yeah,
guy.
that's perfect.
So
That's a direct resolution to it, and above all, it's going to help that lady more than anybody.
yes, sir.
It's going
Change
to
your
really help her.
yes, sir.
He's already pure. You know what I mean? He was just trying to know how to dissect that situation. So for somebody to guide him and just tell him it's okay, that's a big kudos, a big salute, a big thank you to the parents that are involved, because
Yeah,
that goes to
peace,
show that
bless.
that the household is involved and it is a safe haven. You know what I mean? This child, we don't know nothing about nothing besides he was just 6 and he brushed up against her. So
Yeah.
that's
And-
definitely wrong. We know right and wrong. So again, thank you, and thank you
Thank
to the
you,
lady,
thank you.
even to the lady who initiated the phone call and who was the victim. Appreciate you too, just being an adult and somebody who can come back for resolution
Yeah.
as well, for that kid
Yeah.
to even speak his mind. And, you had to hear it, and kudos to whoever taught you, because then that shows somebody had to say something to you. So
Yes,
kudos to those people. And thank you, man. That just goes to show, man, how we
Peace.
can solve problems without letting hate spew into a child, and then the child turns into an
Say
adult.
something
We got to
else,
start
yeah.
putting a plug in some of these holes that's draining our boat.
Yeah, man. That was a good. That's blessed, man. Peace. And then we go to the. So we talked about the Roe and Wade.
Roe versus Wade,
Yeah. And about the 10-year-old girl who was raped and impregnated, right? So I kind of like I wanted to touch on this because it kind of changed my perspective. Because at first I'm against. I'm gonna say this. I'm against unresponsible sexual activity that creates a newborn or a child. You know, I'm against that. So no, I don't think that they should be able to get that abortion if it's not a health situation or something. That was just irresponsible behavior. So no, I don't agree with aborting a baby, a child,
Right.
under that state. But being as though that in this situation, this young child, and it's a child, and this grown man raped her, it's like, wow. So no, she should be able to make her own decision. Yeah, but at the same time, she wasn't able to make her decision to even have sex. She was took advantage of. She was hurt. She was abused. She was to the utmost disrespected, and depreciated.
Mm-hmm.
So it hit my heart, and I had to let y'all know that I don't agree with her not being able to have an abortion and having to leave her state to do it.
Right. That's why I said we pro-life and pro-choice because everything is circumstantial.
Right.
But even diving deeper, that goes to even show when I say that there's adults. I mean, there's children just in adult bodies, and then you have children in children bodies. And until we grow up and we face that trauma and we heal and we become adults, just because you're 18, then 21, then 30, then 40, then 50. If you don't know how to assess a situation, bring it down, talk to somebody with respect, you know what I mean? Treat people how you want to be treated. Handle your responsibilities. Take care of your needs before your wants. Then you're not an adult. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're not grown. So that's the first thing. Then I also think about if this adult likes children, he's still in his child. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think about that too. Like, man, that's sad. That's
Right.
sick. You know what I mean? That's a sickness. That's a type of mental health issue in itself for you to even be attracted to a child. You know what I mean? And then turn and go beastly. But then it makes me think, well, was this man touched too? We already know he's wrong and he's going to get prosecuted and all of those things. Was he touched? Because, looking at that R. Kelly type situation, you know what I mean? He's definitely wrong. But it's a lot of wrongs in there. You
Right.
know what I mean? So I don't like that part. But yeah, man, we always against anybody who get raped, abused. If it's even like I said, two young people can't breed a child into this world without it being, impoverished, without it being don't bring somebody in this world it's gonna be 18 years to then their whole life
Right.
of no togetherness. Y'all don't have no union. You're not gonna give them no morals, ethics, value. You're trying to figure out yourself. It's so much easier to say, look, man, we were wrong. Let's use this as a learning experience. We are
Right.
children.
Right.
So as we grow, let's not do this.
I
And
get
then
it.
let's not put it on another child. And then the fact that they, have to go to another state. Thank you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thank you to these other states and how this corporation really works. But it's just sad because, that goes to show you could go 100 miles or so over or less and be in a whole nother place and you can do it.
Right.
That's like, that used to always confuse me, like when we was in college, every professor has a different syllabus. So I would have people that has the same major as me, but we learning two totally different things. They
Right.
got an A. I'm over here, I got to really study and go hard for my A, and I'm not getting an A. I'm going to be
Right.
honest, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? Because I get it. But that's what I didn't like. I'm like, man, how we not doing, the same thing? So even with that, I feel the same way, you know what I mean? Everybody should come to the table and speak about those things because it really is case by case, man, and situational.
Right. And yeah, like he said, we are pro-life and pro-choice. We are for that.
Yeah.
And
Look
that-
up your states. There's like 23 states where you can still get an abortion.
right.
Let's be responsible. Even that's another thing, man. Looking at that as a ploy, though, the headline. We have to stop taking the headline and just running with it. Because when I heard it and the way people were going
was
about
like-
it,
it made it
I'm
seem like
thinking
every
it was
state.
just done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Made it seem like it was
man,
every
it is
state.
what it is, and
Yeah.
it's done. So I'm like,
So you always got to do your research.
exactly. That's
Always.
the thing. We have to stop taking things for face value and really, do our homework because.
Especially, yeah.
But see, that's a thing. It's an energy call. That's things
Okay.
to stress you out. That's a tension call.
Right.
When somebody say this, they know it's gonna. You don't have control of your emotions. You're gonna get riled up.
Yep.
Now you got all this energy, man. You got
Mhm.
millions of people striking energy towards this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's nothing.
And
good.
then that's all they're pushing out.
Yeah, because it's a bundle of negative energy.
Right.
Imagine if they said something positive and they don't want that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then, oh man, it'd be a world of just bliss and all, man. It'd be conquering
Peace.
that. They wouldn't understand what was going on. So we have to start. Like that's why I always sit back. I don't say nothing. I
Right.
hear it. Okay. I want to see what my conscious community talking about. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? My people that are just of the know. Then I want to hear about what the lack of consciousness, what they saying,
Excuse me.
just off of the emotion. And then I'm just gonna sit back because I go off my first thought too. Like, okay, this may be this. So then when I hear somebody say it, when they say, well, maybe it's for this race, who's
Right.
really the minority, they trying to save their race. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So they don't want them to get abortion. Look at the areas where this stuff
Okay.
is. Just go and do a deep dive, man, and stop instead of letting people control your emotion because that's big on having, a great mental hygiene, balance, and that's about being an adult, man.
Right.
You can't keep giving your energy away, man. People control you. You go to the gas station, you get mad about this. They mess up on your order, you get mad about that. Guess
Jump
what they
through
all
a
can
window.
do? They can fix all that though. These are employees. That's a business. It may take longer. Sit there and wait.
Yeah.
Make my meal over. I want it hot anyway. You don't have to. I want hot fries.
Yeah.
No, my fries are cold. I've just paid for that. I am a customer. You may not care, but you're representing this company. So I'll sit here and wait.
And I'm gonna be patient.
Yeah. And guess what?
And I'm
That
gonna give
extra
you the
time could be
respect.
saving your life too.
Yeah.
We don't know.
What if
Everything
you sped
happens
off and
for
hit
a
a
reason.
crash?
Everything just happens for a reason. It's all in divine time. So when things like that happen, start thinking like, all right, man, I'm not gonna be late. Maybe this is saving me from something. I'm just trying to add that extra perspective, a thought that could save you from getting upset. That way you can kind of diffuse. Because
Yeah.
two mad people, we don't know what's gonna happen.
That's correct.
Parent, I'm glad the parent was there with that young man because we don't know what will happen. Now, little kids get upset too now.
Yeah.
Man, they'll start wilding out now. You want a little kid, like we seen, it was a young kid up in Northeast. He was hitting the policeman
Yeah.
and cursing
Yeah.
at him. And we thought that was funny. People thinking that's funny. That's also not funny because guess what he'll do? Turn 14, 13, he'll go get a
that
gun
and
and
shoot
then
that
ain't going to be
police.
no punching. You know what I
He
mean? And
gonna
now
shoot.
his life is, and it's
Yeah.
not cute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all took part and
It's
laughed at
fun and
one
games
point and
until
stuff,
something
but
happens.
it's not funny. And then what if that cop dealing with emotion?
Yeah.
What if his wife was cheating? What if he couldn't make the rent? What if he just
Or
boom.
what if what if
just
what
like
if-
they
what if
just
that
charged a
color
6-year-old Joe
jump
for
the sign?
brushing up against a woman for sexual harassment? What if this adult would have just elbowed a kid,
Yeah.
kicked the kid?
Yeah.
We already have a lack of unified protection. We don't protect one another on a grand scale.
Yeah.
Man, be darned if we gonna have kids. That's another thing. Why these kids just outside by themselves? You know what I mean? It's like that's where the community comes in. Okay, your mama at work, your daddy is in jail. Cool. That's why we got a community. We're not gonna talk about your dad being in jail, your mom being at work. You gotta pay the bill. Miss Denise down the street said, "Hey, get off that corner, come down here and get on the porch."
Yeah.
Because that type of stuff used to happen when we were
Yeah,
children.
that's
Get
how-
out the street. I said get out the street. Go play ball right over there.
Yeah.
Get your butt out the street. Don't make me come off the porch. If I come down, I'm going to do it. Then I'm going to tell your mama she going to do it. Now that's two.
Yeah.
We have to get back to that. And believe it or
kind of
not,
like take it out.
believe it or not, all of these mental health issues and stuff that start at a child, because a child is acting out for attention, right? That's all they was looking for
Yeah.
anyway.
Why you not out there
Miss
playing
Denise,
with them?
she love me.
Yeah.
You know, not when they're around the homies and stuff, but when you by yourself, man, everybody had that moment when I call it the flip down the mirror in your car moment. When you sitting in that seat and you know, man, I'm tired of this. Man, I don't want to go here. Man, we
Right,
all
all the
have
time.
those moments. Same thing as a child. They have those moments too. So why not make it better? Why not make it better? Like, man, I know she was giving me a hard time. And then if he don't get it then, he'll get it 3 years from now. He'll get it 5 years from now, 10 years from now when he see kids in the street. Because that's how I am now. I get it. Oh, okay. Hey, young fellas, let me holler at y'all for a minute. Not cursing at them, not
Right,
disrespecting
right.
them. Hey, let me holler at y'all for a minute. Come on over. Hey, whatever you got to do to break the ice. It's 90 degrees, 98 degrees. Hey, little homie, let me get 10 waters. I'm going to
Yeah.
just give you 10 bucks. Can I get 10 minutes of your time? I just support it. Hey,
Yeah.
how long you been doing this? Okay, what's your plans? Where you
Yeah.
want to go from selling water? What's next? How
Yeah.
can I help you?
Yeah.
We don't do a lot of that. Just bad kids. They get on my nerves. Man, you ain't going to believe what's going on out here today. They just shooting. I get it. This is the same perpetuation of the same thing that we saw when we got up growing up. If you seen Scarface, if you seen New Jack City, that was the cool stuff. You understand? But we looking at Blank Man as a weirdo, but he
Yeah.
creating a robot.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You gotta have that balance. You gotta have somebody to protect Blank Man.
Yeah.
You gotta have somebody to protect the future lawyer. You gotta have somebody. I get if you gonna go, you did that. That's your choice. That's what we seen. But even when we seen what we seen, everybody come back and say, "Man, I wish I ain't do that." So when you get to the "I wish I ain't do that" moment, you're gonna have to call on Blank Man, and it don't have to be, a super nerd or nothing.
Right.
But you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Somebody who's
The one that
into
was-
coding.
Right.
Somebody who's into,
What's right?
putting a landscaping company together. Somebody who's into refurbishing and designing
Right.
sneakers. Anything. But we have to
But
just
negativity.
figure out. Yeah, man, we can conquer it.
Anything
and start
but
fixing that
negativity,
stuff.
man.
Yeah, man.
Anything but negativity, man. And that just leads right into how prosecution of children is only done in this United States.
Yeah.
It's only done here.
Yeah.
It's only done here. So that young child that brushed up on that lady could have got prosecuted for that. Right? What if it went bad? He did something, reacted. He punched her. She slipped,
Yeah.
busted her head. They could have charged him for murder.
Yeah. Only if he would have did the only thing about that when I was looking at it a little bit more, it's like the age is like 13, 14.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be happening. Now I'm also not saying some of these cases adults gonna have to come into the picture too.
Right,
That
right.
way we put the pressure on them so they can start parenting
Yeah.
a little bit better.
Better.
Because you
'Cause it
should know
start
what
in
your
the
13
household.
and 14-year-old is doing.
Yeah.
So again, maybe he don't need to be in the prison. I can't stand that place, no way. But parent might have to go serve some years too. Parent see that over their head. What is you doing?
Yeah.
No.
They're gonna be more strict.
No, we not doing that. So just
It's like nowadays, man, and it's sad, right? I got so many buddies, man, that man, it brings tears to my eyes when you hear some of these stories of their family members or they're just people that they grew up with and how young their kids are that are catching so many charges at young ages in their life is just getting took it from them, and it's like their norm.
Right.
Like when they say it, it's like, hey man, it happened, but man, dang man, that's how shorty go, man. He can't, you know what I mean? He can't be. Yes, it started in that household.
Yeah.
Because something made him go out of there. I'll give you a perfect example, right? I grew up with a brother and a sister. It was three of us. We was in the same household. I'm 36. My brother is 38. My sister is 35. Or soon to be. I hope I got that right, Ashley. Please forgive me. But yeah. And we had the same mom. We had the same dad. We got the same stepdad. We had the same opportunities. Something in the household drew all of us to something else. I'll give you 3 examples. Domestic violence drove all of us to a different path. My brother chose sports in school to get up out of the house so he can go to college to get up out of there. I chose sports and anything else but this house. And then and my sister She's the girl version of me. She just chose to be outside with me and do hair and just find her niche. But it just goes to show you that something went wrong in it, but we all chose different paths and we all made our own choices. And it's just tough because it starts in the household. We felt like, yeah, we were safe in our house. You know, my mom did her best to try to hide what was going on. But when you start raising teenagers that's curious and know what's going on, we in the room next to you, we can hear you arguing. So we're not dumb. It's so much that you can do, and yeah, that's gonna make me not want to be there. It's just gonna make me not want to be there. And that's what happens to us growing up inside of a house that's not a home, you know, that's not comfort, you know, or something in there that's making you go. And they don't give these kids a chance to figure out, well, what made him do that before they even charge him and do all that. Well, what made him do that? And figure it out first. We're not saying that he's not going to get a punishment.
Right.
Because guess what? You made plenty of mistakes as a young child. He had a hot hand. He had to have games. He had to go. And if he ain't had the money, he'd take it. Yeah, he made mistakes, yeah. But look where he became now. And my mom was hard. She beat our butt if we did wrong. It's not happening nowadays no more.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm going to give off the love to my young ones that's around me, and that's where it starts with us, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a same cycle of kids raising kids. So it doesn't even, most people, parents have them 18, 19, like you're not established. And then that's another thing too though, man. Stop talking to these kids like babies, man. That's the problem, man. Everybody just pander to one side. So it's like save the youth. Well, the youth do got problems though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times, you know, I'll be seeing children too just perpetuating the music, the videos, they come from 2-parent households. You know what I'm saying? They'll get whatever they want. That's another thing about our generation. Our generation is, my kids didn't have, so I'm going to spoil my kids. I will go for broke. I'll put all these bills on hold, do Christmas, and then I'll get back to these bills when it's not supposed to be like that. So we got to be better examples. Not just, the household. No, man, if you want your kid, you don't want your kid to be LeBron James. I want my kid to be me and then better. Right. I got to give them better examples. You know what I'm saying? I got to load it up. I got to know how to farm. I got to know how to write books, clothing, real estate, all these different opportunities, and you get that over time. That's why I said, well, it takes time to become an adult. That's why it's so funny to me when people, who gonna check me? Oh, I'm grown. And then you really think about it, it's like, no, we're not. It take a long time to become grown because we playing at a disadvantage. It's not like you've been groomed your whole life to become grown and take care of responsibilities. You've been groomed your whole life most times as an extra headache. You understand me? And I can't wait for you to get out when you turn 18. That's traumatizing to keep hearing somebody say that. I heard that. I'm not saying that it was right or wrong. It's very wrong.
Right.
Why I gotta leave? You understand me? I'm not just sitting here eating up all the cereal. I'm not like Craig when he comes to the refrigerator. Every time I'm in the fridge, you in the fridge. No. I'm trying to figure this thing called life out because I wasn't equipped with all the tools. And instead of blaming you, I'm even saying still right now, the game's still going. We could still win. I need your help now. That's why it still takes a village after you're 18, man. That whole just cutting it off and all of that's weird. Yeah. Because other families and other nationalities and ethnicities, they give their kids a chance. They don't care about that house, man. That's a house. You know what that house is? It's equity. It's a part of my net worth. When I pass away, you have a house. Now, the next houses you get, rent them ones out and all that. And then somebody else need a house, then you go get that house, you move in. Let your cousin, let your sister, let them get on their feet. The main thing is if we take rent away, man, you don't know how many people can get on their feet. Just get on their feet. You paying $2,000. The average monthly rent is $2,000. Multiply that by 12. You had $24,000 to put into your business, your idea, your plan, something. You just give people a chance. But we have to, again, get our mental health and all our issues together because you can't be getting attitude and mad because somebody's here and you don't have privacy and all that when the whole goal is just to get up out of here. If you can't go 1 to 4 years with your group of people that you were born with, y'all grew up together, you can't help me out a little bit. I got books, man. I got juice. I got water. We could cook. We could work out. All this stuff is business to where you saying, man, I can't stand my job. Man, I can't do. Well, God is sending you messages, man. He's sending you people. Like we always use this reference when we talk behind the scenes. It's just God did send you a raft. He did send you a boat. You just pushed it away every time because it wasn't the one you wanted. You wanted a daggone yacht to come out, send you the little boat. You hop in the little boat, go get on the yacht and go party. when he sent you a raft. All you did was get some wood. You said you wanted to stay alive. Well, if you stay alive, all you needed was opportunity. We're not looking for, I don't want you to make the world for me to live in. Give me the opportunity, man, to do what I need to do. And how do you get opportunities? By doing what you need to do when nobody's looking. Before anybody is there to give you an opportunity, give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance. We don't even do that. So we have to start there, and then that way it could trickle over so we can have conversations about, hey, remember when we was kids? Man, that really hurt me when you did such and such. So now I ain't at Thanksgiving cursing you out. It's over. Move forward. And that's all I got to say for this week, man. I know, I love it. You know what I mean? Because we pouring it in, and it's stuff that people need to hear, but above all, we need to hear. We need to we setting the tone. Everything, it's on camera now. You have to live like that, man. And that's the great part when the camera not on. That's why you got to adjust it to your own life and let discipline and obedience be the standard. And I'm Samaj, man. This the Leaders Only Show.
And I'm Kendall, and we thank y'all again, man. And we love y'all, and peace.
Yes, make sure y'all comment, like, subscribe, ring the bell. Peace.
Leadership is not letting what you're going through or your world seep into my world. Don't let it spill in. It's respect, it's love, it's honor, it's doing what you say.